Hi everybody. I'm back today with more tips on building credit. I wanted to talk a little bit today about some of the things that I think maybe some people may be kind of wondering about as a person who is trying to establish credit. And I thought about some of the things that I went through when I was trying to establish my credit, or rather rebuild my credit, because I actually messed up my credit pretty brutally. And it's some things that I wish I would have known and maybe been able to maneuver a little bit better when it came to my credit, and I probably would be way further ahead right now had I done that. But I'm actually in pretty good standing in credit, so I'm okay, and I know, what to do to keep continuously progressing up. So that's the key. Like, you just have to kind of know things so that you can be able to control them a little bit better. So one big question some people might have is, how many credit cards should I have? So my answer would be, first of all, you should know how much money you can afford to spend on credit card bills a month. So you want to think about that first, because you don't want to have more credit card debt than you can afford to pay back. So that's first things first. Secondly, you want to think about, what do you actually need credit for, like as far as what you need to spend it on. So I wouldn't do a department store if I know that I'm a frequent shopper at a particular department store. Now, you might be saying, well, if I go to that store all the time and they have a credit card promotion where if you have a credit card, you'll get a discount, then technically I'm saving money because now I have a credit card, so I can get a discount. So I wouldn't spend as much money as I normally would because I get a discount. So that's probably not going to be the right answer. What's going to happen when you get that credit card at the department store that you love to go to is that you have money at the drop of a dime to spend. So now okay, I'm going to go here. Just, you might be depressed, you might be happy, you might be whatever. I'm pretty much a person who can shop regardless of a situation. So I know if I want to go to the store and buy something and I have my credit card available, then if I don't have any money at the time, I'll be like, oh, well, I can just put it on my card and I'll pay it back. Do not use that mindset, because you will end up in debt. Like, you have to think about your credit as money that you're borrowing that you have to pay back. Yes, you're going to pay it back over time, but you have to remember, credit card companies are in business because you're giving them money. They're letting you borrow their money, but you're giving them back more money. That's where interest comes in. They'll continue to let you borrow and increase your credit limits because they want you to spend money on their card, because they're going to charge you interest. That's how they're going to make their money. So the more you spend, the more they get, because they get that interest. Now, unless you pay it right back off. So that's what I do. I pay it right back off because I know I don't want to pay interest. So unless it hits on my on the end of my billing cycle, that's when they can hit you with that interest charge. So whatever amount you have sitting in that account saying that this is what you owe them, that's what they can charge you for that billing cycle. Now, if you can pay it off before your billing cycle ends, then you're great. But if you don't, then you're going to get charged that interest. So basically, do not get that department store credit card that you love so much. Not a good idea, in my opinion. Now, 2, basically, as far as, again, how many credit cards should you have to answer that question? I would say a good number is probably 3 or 4. Just because, I'm only saying this because to help creditors kind of know that you are a trustworthy person. So if you have a few, which is 3, then they know that different people have trusted you with credit. So they know that you are a trustworthy person when it comes to paying your bills on time and paying back money. Now, the reason that you want to build credit could be for a number of things. Could be for a car, could be for a house, could be for a business loan. It could be for a number of things. So you want to build credit because that's basically how people judge you, off your credit. It's like you build your reputation, you become trustworthy, and then now they know they can trust you with credit, with different things, without having to give money up front. And you want to be able to do that because you're not going to always have all the money up front to pay for things. Sometimes things may happen unexpectedly where you have to use your credit card, and that's fine. You just want to try to pay it back off as quickly as you can. But anyway, moving on along, other questions that, other things I might say when I go back to that whole billing cycle thing. Know your billing cycle for your credit cards. Know when your billing cycle ends so that you can try to know when to try to get your balance down as low as possible. Another thing is, this going to be 3, is one trick I learned is to just buy the normal stuff that I would usually spend with cash anyway. Buy that on my credit card and then pay it back off. So groceries, gas, when I go just to get household items, I spend it on my credit card, but I know every week I'm paying it right back off. Reasoning behind this is, again, because it's all a game. The credit card company is going to look at the activity on your account as well. So when they see the activity is nothing, then they're going to be like, okay, this person doesn't have money to spend. Now, sometimes when you don't have activity, this has happened to me on both ends. When you don't have activity, they'll increase your credit limit because I feel like they're trying to, like, you know, sucker you in into spending some money on that card. And they feel like, well, maybe the limit is too low, and if we give her more, then she'll spend some money. So they'll either increase your credit limit, they won't do anything at all, or sometimes they lower your credit limit when you don't use your card at all, because I guess they feel like, well, she's not even using this $2,000, so we just gonna take this down to $1,000. So it could go either way. So to me, I just say try to use a card that you're getting something out of. Like, the best thing to me on a card is the rewards. If you have a card that gives you back money for spending money on it, then that's great, because you're earning something and spending money that you're going to have to spend anyway. So try to do a card with rewards. That's always good, or a cashback card. Also, when you're looking into credit cards, a good thing to know is, do they charge an annual fee? Because some cards will charge you a fee just to have the card every year. So it's great if they have 0 annual fees. That's a good one. Also, you want to know if they charge, what they charge as far as any fees, like late fees, over the limit fees. So that's why you want to try to make sure you never go over your limit on your card. And 2, you're never late. And I said this in a previous video. Make sure you pay at least your minimum amount due. If you can't pay nothing past the minimum amount due, at least pay the minimum, because you don't want to get a late fee. You don't want to get not only a late fee, but you don't want to get hit with a late payment on your credit report. So all late payments show up on your credit report. Sometimes you can call the credit card company and try to ask them not to put it on your credit report, but most of the time they're going to do it, because that's their job, to make sure that they're keeping in contact with the credit bureaus. But you still could try. So pay on time so that you don't end up with that late fee, because then you're going to have a late fee and a late payment alert on your credit report. So hopefully those were some good, helpful, useful tips for credit.